Hi, this is Emily. Welcome, everyone. On this video, I visit the city of Gothenburg, Nebraska. I'll see an original Pony Express station here. Then I drive south to Dodge City, Kansas. I'll see the city in a gunfight show. Gonna be an Old West kind of day. Let's go. We'll be seeing a few things in Gothenburg this morning. I'll start at the Pony Express station and museum, then see the Swedish crosses, and finally the Sod House Museum. Down here, it looks like they buried a time capsule. It will be open in 2040. I'm at Emmett Park, near the center of town. This is a beautiful park with lots of walking trails and plenty of trees. There's also history here, with one of the original mail stations along the Pony Express. Today it's a museum with some small exhibits. There's also a gift shop. The building will open in just a few minutes. Two markers on this stone. The circular one has the former proprietors of this station. The bottom marker says this is the actual station building, not a replica. This marker states this was also the Road to Zion, where 70,000 Mormons traveled by here on their way to what was called New Zion in Utah. This was a trading post in 1854 and was a Pony Express station in 1860 and 1861, then was used as the Overland Trail station. It's now open.
Saddle piece, and the top part of that two-story is what you're standing in right now. They took it apart piece by piece and put it back together according to the number system. Those that little brown piece of paper up there, that was on each log. They put it numbered and they put it back, assembled it back. In this location in the 1930s, and then they opened it in the 1950s. But the relay station, did you study the Pony Express in school? Pony Express was a way that they delivered mail for a short period of time in our history, because they wanted to get it from point A to point B really fast. And point A was St. Joseph, Missouri, to Sacramento, California. And a relay station was where the rider would jump off the horse and take the top part of that saddle and flip it onto another horse saddle.
Would the horse be trained to wait for them while they put the mail out?
Very good question. They were very smart, short, fast horses. They knew what their job was. They had to have somebody holding the horse, but the horse was probably anticipating, I got to get ready to ride and ride. But then they were fast. They were at a full run. The horses would go for about 8 to 10 miles. Sometimes they had to go farther. That was called a home station. So they were all, there's a map up here.
Yeah, so these are all the different stations here.
There's one over there actually that you can see closer. It's leaning against the, you can pick it up. Go ahead and handle it. Kind of.
How many miles altogether?
19.
All these are stations.
19.
When did the trains take over?
Really the number one was the telegraph. The train was not very far behind it, but the telegraph is what really put it out. So,
Thank you.
yeah, there's little vignettes about a few of the riders.
Yeah.
They're pictures when they were older, but they had a few younger ones because it was dangerous, and the lighter the better. That's why they liked small, skinny people. So they were more occupied with the idea we got to get information to the West.
Okay.
Because it was pre-Civil War, it was all that. Politics involved, everything. One was left unlocked just in case they could add or subtract or add to the pile. It's set, and really the impact that this had on our relationship with Europe after the Pony Express, because people learned English from our Westerns, and they also learned
There are a couple more things you'll see in Gothenburg, so let's head out to our next stop. Outside of the town is the Swedish Cross Cemetery. The cemetery is just these 3 crosses. This is where one of the Swedish settlements was established in the late 19th century. The crosses were made by blacksmith Benjamin Palm, and they marked the graves of his grandchildren. All 3 children died when they were infants. This marker is for Gustav Andrew, the next one is for Carl Alfred, and this one is for Signe Esther. The cemetery is at the intersection of roads 769 and 409, a few miles northwest of downtown Gothenburg. Speaking of downtown Gothenburg, this is it. The population is 3,469 as of the last census. Gothenburg was founded in 1882 and is named for the largest town in Sweden. The city founder, Olaf Bergström, worked on the Union Pacific Railroad. The railroad company laid out this town center. Bergström made several trips to Sweden to bring settlers to Gothenburg. Look at this painted mural. This looks to be a representation of the Pony Express. Very nice and very colorful. I have one more place to see. It's close to the interstate Benstone, so let's check it out. This is the world's largest plow. This is a manual plow, so I'm not sure a regular sized person can operate this plow. You need a giant person to push this, I would think. The plow is at the Sod House Museum. This museum shows the history of pioneers constructing homes out of sod. I didn't know sod was that sturdy. There are a few things outside to see, like an old windmill and a wooden ear of corn. I'll briefly take a look inside.
Repair it until they found out it was $50,000, so they're going to go non-profit now and see if they can get it refurbished.
On the other side of the museum property is an original sod house. In the field are buffalo made out of barbed wire. There's the sod house over there. I'll be honest, that looks a little scary. I'm not sure how it hasn't collapsed. That looks like an old bed. Interesting how they made the bed frame. This looks like a kitchen or dining area over here. Very small house. Says the walls are mudded with sand and clay, then washed with a lime solution to keep bugs from making nests. Also a fabric just below the roof to keep sediment from falling on the residents. There's a stove, also some cast iron pans. I'm really surprised this house is still standing. You can see it's not really sturdy. Looks like this rooster sign was damaged. The rooster has been decapitated. Check out this roof. It has not caved in after all this time. Look at this side. You can see the vertical cracks and separations. The lady at the museum says they do some maintenance to keep the house standing. Oh, back here, looks like the back wall has already separated from the house. Looks like the museum employees have propped up the back wall to prevent it from completely collapsing. That was an interesting stop. I only planned to stop at the Pony Express station, but I wanted to see the Swedish Cross Cemetery at the Sod House. Anyway, I'm heading south and now I'm entering the state of Kansas, the Sunflower State. Nearly 3 hours later, I'm now in Dodge City, queen of the cow towns. In the distance is a giant herd of cows, a very giant herd. Look at this. Cows as far as the eye can see. Dodge City's primary industry is meat processing. The two largest employers in Dodge City are meat processors. This marker says the average 1,100 pound animal typically has 490 pounds of edible meat. Beef byproducts are used in pharmaceuticals, leather, cosmetics, fertilizers, and more. That meat processor we saw processes 6,000 animals a day. And there's a cowboy and a horse made from horseshoes. Dodge City is a slowly growing town with a population of about 28,000. In addition to meat processing, there's a growing tourism industry here for people looking for a taste of the Old West. Check out the downtown area, very much in the Old West aesthetic, also with brick roads. On this marker, it says Dodge City was a longhorn cattle hunting town, switching from buffaloes. No buffaloes here now. Wild and woolly Front Street. This side shows a map of businesses along Front Street from 1878 to 1882. Quite a few saloons, a few restaurants and a hotel, plus a railroad depot. This was pretty much a one-stop area for whatever you needed. Over here, a statue of a longhorn bull. This is El Capitan. The statue commemorates the Texas cattle drives that gave Dodge City the name Queen of the Cowtowns. This breed of cattle originally came from Mexico in the 16th century. That guy looks really menacing. Not only that, the longhorn is a cousin of the Spanish fighting bull. Look how long those horns are. They have to be a few feet long. I'm at Boot Hill Monument Park. This cowboy is completely white. This is called the oldest cowboy statue. This was constructed partially by demo plaster, which gives the statue its white color. Nearby is the Oxen Trailhead Monument. I think the cattle were recently painted white to match this cowboy. I think I'd rather see them in their natural colors. This is the Hambell Monument. A deputy U.S. Marshal, pioneer, sheriff, mayor of Dodge City, and grand old man of the Southwest. That's a heck of an epitaph. Look at this beauty. This is the Centennial Monument. There are quite a few markers on this monument for some of the founders of Dodge City. On the top of the monument is what looks like a large gold coin. A couple of markers on this monument. The first is for George Hoover, the earliest founder and starter of the first business here in 1871. He brought another settler to bring law and order, Wyatt Earp. He became known as the best law and order officer in the West. Quite a quiet and decent man. A couple of blocks away, I see another muffler man, dressed in a white outfit and has a long mustache. This muffler man is known as the La Salsa Man. The Salsa Man was donated by actor Dennis Hopper and placed here, with questionable legality, by the Dodge City Artist Councilman Bob Jones. Due to weather issues, La Salsa Man no longer has a Mexican hat or a tray full of food. Look at the snakeskin shoes. That's a really nice touch. Now I'm going to visit the Boot Hill Museum. Not only is this a museum, but they have a gunfight reenactment. Welcome to the Boot Hill Museum. Come in, explore, experience Dodge City's colorful history. American Indians, people of the plains. There are fossils from many different periods in history, from the Paleo-Indian period to the historic period, which extends to present day. An example of clothing that the Native Americans wore, even some footwear down here. Over here, the Great American Prairie. This map shows where the various tribes were located. Another display for clothing. This looks like something a chief wife would wear. This display shows some items used for spiritualism. Looks like some items used as musical instruments. I wish they showed a video as well. Over here, a teepee. This marker says it's a Great Plains Indian teepee.
Studies it.
Some items used by Plains Indian women. Some shoes, other garments, looks like stones, and some containers as well. Impact of European contact. Big display here. Dodge City began as Fort Dodge. A quote from Kiowa Chief Santana: "When we settle down, we grow pale and die."
No, sir. I've got big plans.
This is a display for Settler's Store. A settler is a civilian merchant who sells provisions to an army.
Cigars from Havana, card tables, beer. Folks who don't respect people trying to build
Over here with the covered wagon.
war.
After Fort Dodge was settled, many different businesses were started. This goes back to that map I showed you from downtown.
They want to escape it, but you can't let them stop progress. Right? Railroad's still going to move west, and others will come.
This is a carving of a wooden Indian. Native Americans introduced tobacco to the European settlers. Merchants advertised their store had tobacco by putting a cigar store Indian in front of their store. Remember Jimberly and Disneyland? The store behind Jimberly sold cigarettes until the 1960s.
The great American buffalo once roamed the prairie in unimaginable numbers. Unnecessary for survival.
Wow, look at this buffalo fur coat. Also down there, some buffalo fur gloves.
Rope made from fur. In the year 1800, with 30 million
When Fort Dodge was founded, it was such a popular buffalo hunting town that its nickname was Buffalo City.
however, by the end of the 19th century,
American bison were prevalent all over the U.S., including Alaska,
as few as one
but in 1890, only 1,000 remained. Today, there are 500,000 bison that live mainly in national parks such as Yellowstone.
primary source of sustenance.
Native Americans called buffalo big beasts or tatanka.
We can step back in time to the year 1800, when the wild buffalo roamed.
The white devil in this display refers to the rumor of a white buffalo that roamed prairies near Dodge City. They eventually hunted down a white buffalo and they received $1,000 cash. The display shows how buffalo were hunted down 150 years ago. Many different kinds of hunting rifles and other tools.
To nearly 500,000. A hopeful sign, but a far cry from their former glory.
Dancing saloons. Harvey girls are supposed to be like a bit of home away from home.
There's a trail running along the tracks that are tied to the ceiling. Here's where they talk about how land was surveyed to eventually build a railroad through here.
There's not many options outside of the factory or the
So
mill,
much to
and
see
even
in this
then,
museum.
you get
It's
sick
very
and miss the
informational.
fire.
If you want to learn about Dodge City, its settlement, and the industries formed here after its settlement, this is a great place to learn all that.
And we must cross a lot of women come out here looking for someone to marry.
The display talks about the American cowboy. Over here, some chaps, a saddle, boots, and other items a cowboy would use.
And then there's this dishwasher. Oh, see that? To go from that to then all of this.
Now on to more dressy wardrobes worn by settlers. Various dresses that were worn by women about 150 years ago. Lots of different designs and colors. Looks like they dressed up for playing sports such as golf. This area discusses the lead law enforcers such as Wyatt Earp. Also, you get the chance to vote guilty or not guilty on some crimes. This looks like a scene from Kansas Prohibition, when alcohol sales and consumption were illegal starting in 1881. Looks like some artifacts such as bottles, even what looks like a nearly empty bar. Kansas was a dry state until 1948.
It was all ended. I came to real church. And I swear, I saw those ladies in the front row.
Over here, several fires in the mid-1880s destroyed the town. Most landmarks and buildings were destroyed. This room has biographies of the main founders of Dodge City, most notably Henry Sittler, who constructed a large sod house that provided lodging for buffalo hunters. Now outside, this is the Fort Dodge Jail. This is a jail cell. Imagine being held in this cell during the summer. Just a hole for you to do your business. Here's another cell. It's hot outside and even hotter inside this jail cell. Looks like people have signed their names, not sure if that's allowed. Let's see what else is out here to see. This looks like a map of Dodge City in the early 1880s. The railroad runs through the center of town, and major landmarks are noted. Down that way is the cemetery. On the left is a reconstruction of what the downtown area looked like during the 1870s and 1880s. On the right is the museum we were just in. The strip of buildings is actually one large building with several rooms. All the rooms are connected, so you can walk through each store without going outside. Look at this area here, so many different types of hunting rifles and other guns. Another display featuring the prominent lawmen of Dodge City. Oh, and look over here. Lots and lots of handcuffs. This appears to be a drugstore. This is like the pharmacy of 150 years ago. Scarlet Sluggers. When Dodge City was lawless, this was an infamous brawl between two prostitutes. This looks like maybe where posters, documents, and other things were printed. This room looks to be a representation of a saloon. In addition to enjoying adult beverages, people will play poker and other card games. This is where the undertaker worked. Duties of the undertaker included arranging for the final resting place, burial clothes, the coffin, and the funeral. This is a replica of Mueller's boot shop. Basically like the shoe stores we have today, but they have every type of boot you might want. This area shows what a typical child might own. These are the toys from that time period. Look at this guitar over here. Over here is a typical child's bedroom. The bed and chair are kid-sized. This is interesting. Reasons why people at the time didn't smile for photographs. Times were much different back then. This looks to be a photographer's studio. Look at the size of that camera. Now going to a reproduction of the bank. You can see the inside of the safe. Also a cash register and typewriter. Now back outside. This looks like a partial reconstruction of what a typical Old West downtown looked like. This is where the gunfight will take place. Over here, this looks like a church. Now inside, this appears to be a reproduction of a house of worship. Reverend Ormond Wright created the first non-denominational church in Dodge City. This church must be the replica. Now back outside, there's a carriage, and I think behind it is an outhouse. Yep, it sure is. It's a two-seater. Over here is a hand-cranked well. I don't believe it's operating. Let's take a look inside this building. This is the house where the Hardesty family lived. This looks to be the kitchen and dining area. There's a baby carriage over there. Can you imagine taking a bath once a week? Over there is the bathtub. You had to get water from the well and fill up the tub. Look at this beautiful dining room set. The hutch is over there. There's an organ over there. Some seating areas in this room. Decorated as it would have been 150 years ago. Wow, this house has an organ and a piano. Actually, 2 pianos. Musical family, I guess. Here's where the blacksmith was located. Let's see what's inside this building. Now it's time to take my seat and see the gunfight show.
Right. Oh man, ever since Marshall came into town, it's been a lot less gunfights, a lot less drunks just get shooting everybody up.
Yeah, but he takes away a lot of my business.
Well, it happens.
I kind of double hand those cattle boys. Well, there you are, Marshall.
How you been doing today, Slim?
Oh, not very lucrative.
Business pretty slow today?
Yeah, very slow. You keep on rushing them off.
When they break the law, I'm going to give them 2 chances to go to jail or they can go dead. Yeah, they don't like that second option a lot.
No, they don't.
9 times out of 10, they turn hightailing right out of town.
I was usually pretty good at making about $10 a day. Now I'm down to like 2.
You make
Gotta let
2 a
them
day?
through. Yeah.
Really? I'll see the next surge that comes in. I'll see if I can get you some business.
Well, you need to jump in on the card action in there.
Are they playing cards in there?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'll try and get you some business, but if they cause trouble, it's gonna be your fault. All right, let's go get some whiskey, boys.
All right.
How you boys doing? We'll be doing a lot better once we get some whiskey. Hold up a minute.
Who are you?
I'm the marshal of this town.
What are you stopping us for?
I'm stopping you because you're breaking the law.
What, walking down the street?
No, carrying and discharging of firearms in Dodge City is against the law.
Since when?
Since always, but it's more enforced now since the last warfare got shot and killed.
Well, we didn't do that.
We were just shooting in the air. We wasn't pointing towards you. You heard of gravity there, mister? Yeah. So it's going to come back down somewhere. Tell me if I shoot up in the air and come down and kill someone. It's very possible. So, since you didn't know about it, since it's newly enforced, I'll cut your break. You don't cause any trouble, don't get too drunk. End of the night comes, I'll let you have them back.
Well, you got lots of rules.
Just don't cause trouble and don't carry guns in my town. Other than that, go about your business, have whatever you want.
So is somebody going to watch them if they're down there, not going to get stolen?
I'll get a box for them, I'll take them, put them, lock them up in my office.
All right. I want a drink.
Yeah. That's how we got my tools. Take that knife behind your back too, mister.
What?
I see you right behind you there.
Oh, my shaving blade?
Yeah, set that over there too. Anything that can hurt anybody, firearm, knife, set it on that well.
Mister, you look like you play fair.
Well, I can.
Have you ever played?
Well, yeah, but I think I was going to talk to you this morning.
Oh, well, come on. I'll show you how to.
You boys have a good time in Dodge.
We will.
Hey, George, you got any cigars that come in today?
Break them in half, man. Get him.
Hey, Marshall! He's going to crash you. Come on, Slim! Hey, Marshall! we didn't shooting guns up. You tell me
Get over there now!
You gonna come down and kill me?
Ain't mine. If it does, that's your problem. Get over there. Get away from him. Get away from him.
I ain't touching him.
Back up.
What the heck for? I ain't doing nothing.
You guys come into town. I gave you 2 rules. I cut your brake on your firearms because I was feeling generous. I told you don't cause any trouble. Next thing I know, you're beating up one of my kids. I don't care who started it.
What are we supposed to do? Just stand there and get punched?
No.
I was helping him out.
Well, you weren't around.
You come get me.
We didn't know where he was.
I was helping him out.
I don't care. Shut your mouth.
There's something in his eye.
I don't care.
I said he started.
I don't care who started it. I'm finishing it. $10 fine for fighting.
$10?
Either that or you can spend a night in jail. How about that? Whew. You rather spend a night in jail or pay me $10?
Well, I ain't got no $10 and I ain't going to jail, so.
You come into town with no money, racking up fines, taxes.
$10 for a fight, mister?
You heard me.
I don't know what world you're living in.
This is my world.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Shut your mouth.
You gonna take me to jail or we
guys don't got any money?
Sell our cattle in the morning.
Well, you're not welcome in Dodge. You can come back after you get money
for that. We're not welcome in Dodge.
That's right. You're coming to my town, fighting, disturbing the peace. I'm not going to tolerate it. I gave you chances already. You broke the laws numerous times. You get your guns, you get the hell out of Dodge. Is that a problem?
Yeah, I got a problem.
What's that problem?
When that badge don't make you right.
Yeah, it does.
Makes you a target.
Yep. Well, I'm always out here. You boys look for a fight?
Well, that's good to know, Marshal.
We'll remember that.
I don't want to see you boys in town until you got money.
Yes, sir.
Next time you come to town, leave them guns at camp.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's right.
What are we doing now?
Go find some saloon to hide out and shit there.
We ain't doing that.
We gonna check every saloon
We
in
ain't
town.
What are we gonna do?
I don't like that.
No money.
I don't like that guy.
Well, neither do I. But we ain't got no money. Well, I don't even know what we're gonna do. Yeah. No, I think I'll just wait it out here.
Come on out.
All right, I'll tell you what, I give up. Hey, here's my gun.
All right, come on out.
Coming.
Alexia, you okay? Did you get shot?
No. In the leg? Yes.
No, I got shot in the gut. I'm gonna need you to dig holes for me.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, why don't you ask some of them to do it?
You guys got any shovels?
No.
Anybody want? I'll give you. I need a whole bunch of holes dug. It's real hot. It's gonna get smelly real quick out here. I'll give you a jug of whiskey per hole.
You say whiskey per hole?
You guys are dead.
Did you say whiskey?
Yeah, but you can't. You're dead though.
That's
remember?
like 7 jugs of whiskey.
The script says you're dead though. Remember?
But that would, I could do it for that.
No, you're dead. Yeah. How about instead? How about a big round of applause for the world famous Boot Hill Gun Fight? Yeah. All right. We thank you guys for coming to Boot Hill today, watching our show, sitting out here in the heat. And for you folks today, we will offer a very special fundraiser. We will send you a lovely 8x10 semi-glossy photo.
Fundraisers tonight?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was tomorrow.
No, tonight.
Oh.
We will send you a lovely 8x10 semi-glossy photo of all of us gunfighters for just $1 a piece. Proceeds of the sale do go back to help us keep pulling bullets in our guns and help us keep shooting at each other. So for just $1 a piece, you guys can have a lovely picture.
Hey, Marshall!
Right here.
There's something wrong with these photos.
What's wrong with them?
They're printed upside down.
No, just turn them over.
But then they're blank.
And they're blank. All right, well, for these misprinted photos, I'll run a special for y'all. $2 for the first one, the second one is absolutely free.
Okay, cool. Can we do that?
Yeah, quantity. It'll be fine. Okay.
And that's it. I didn't realize there was so much to see and do in Dodge City. And I definitely missed a few things. There are a lot of statues including Doc Holliday playing poker, so I have a reason to come back. Dodge City is not near any interstate. US 283 is the main highway to get there. But you're on US 283 for 90 minutes heading south from I-70 or 3 hours heading north from I-40. But if you're looking for an Old West experience, I would highly recommend this. On the next video in this series, I go back to Route 66 in Texas. So, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!